weird, but here it is. So I will start off with the monster cards and then spells and traps, extra deck, then explain some of the combos and stuff. So I'm running 3 bear, mostly because he's a recovery card. He gets Tensu or whatever, so you can normal summon another Boggart, special summon something. He's also spot removal, because basically Tenki is useless after you play it, so he's really good. Plus he exceeds easily into Tiger King. 3 Boggart Knight, main card of the deck. You always want to open Boggart Knight. Like, I don't know why everybody plays all these Emmer's Blades and stuff. I mean, looking at my build, I have 0 Emmer's Blade. I just think he's a bad card. Like, I don't know why anybody would use an Emmer's Blade if you can have Boggart Knight. Because it's a 1-for-1. You destroy it, special summon something. It's stupid, in my opinion. Because if you're playing Emmer's Blade, you don't have any other combos, which means that you're not playing the deck right. Sorry. 3 Darksoul. He is a really good card. Everybody should play 3. Search any X-Saber. That means Faultroll, Ragigura, Airbellum. You can search anything in the deck but Bear, which is searched by Tenki anyway, so it doesn't matter. But Darksoul's great, level 3 non-tuner as well, so he's really good with the level 3 and level 2 tuners, as you'll see in a second. So yeah, really good card. 3 Faultroll. I play really offensive strategy, which means I need to synchro summon a lot. And Faultroll lets me get, like, basically desynchro, so synchro, use 2 Faultrolls, bring back both of the materials, and then resynchro again. So it's really good. 3 Fulhelmknight. A lot of people run 2, but I do 3. I think he's just a really good card. Being able to negate attacks, so if you draw nothing in your first hand, which really doesn't happen because of the balance of the deck, you almost always draw something good, but if you happen to not, then you can Fulhelmknight, just wait it out. Unless they summon like 5 things and OTK you, you're probably going to be okay. 2 Pashuul, basically there is a level 2 tuner that can be searched and summoned by the other X-Sabers, but he's also okay for defending and stuff. I like him. I summon him a lot. Airbellum is only there as a level 3 tuner. 2 Ragigura. I don't know. It's a good card a lot of times, and then a lot of times it's just dead in your hand when you're comboing off of stuff and you don't want to bother summoning a stupid level 1 card. Especially if you've got, like, Faultrolls on your field. Ragigura is kind of useless, but I still feel like he's really good sometimes, especially if you want a Faultroll loop or stuff like that. So, this is the card that I would knock down to 1 or cut completely, but at the moment I just don't feel like it's necessary. 1 Redox Dragon Rule of Boulders. Oh, sorry, that came out bad. Also really on the fence. His effect is so complicated, and sometimes I find myself playing around him instead of the deck. Like, removing from play 2 things to summon him is ridiculous, so I'd rather discard something like Ragigura and Redox and then special summon a bear, not a bear, like a Fulhelmknight or something, so that I can keep synchroing, but I don't know. I just rarely summon him. I usually just use him as discard and special summon, so I don't know, it's still good. It gets me out of a lot of situations. 3 Tenki, mostly because I have 3 bear as well. Kind of need 3. I would run 3 in the deck anyway if I was just running straight X-Sabers, just because you always want to open Boggart. Always, always, always. He's the greatest card ever. 2 Tensu. So, for example, say you've got like Boggart and Fulhelmknight in your hand. You've already got Souza, but then you Tenki into Bear in your hand, and then Tensu. So you can normal summon Bear, then normal summon Boggart Knight, special summon Fulhelmknight, get your Souza and your Bear, and you've got 2 destructions. as well, because you've played Tenki and Tensu. Hang on a second. Yeah. So they work really well together, especially given the number of Beast Warriors in the deck. It's not that high. It's basically Ragigura, Boggart, and Bear, but it still works crazy well, because that's like half of your cards. 2 reinforcement of the army, basically add Fulhelmknight, add Pashuul. Pretty much nothing needs to be said about that. It's just great for, like, if you've got a Boggart Knight in your hand, but nothing to special summon with him, so you're kind of not wanting to summon him, play that. You've got your summon, and you've got your synchro, and you can just keep going. 2 MSTs. This is another card that I'd think about cutting, because I'm running so many Bear. And blind MSTing is just a really bad idea nowadays, and people are all setting traps and stuff, and you just don't want to use it. But I have it in there, like, chain beat decks. This is, I mean, you have to run it, really. You have to run MST. There's no choice. Dark Hole, self-explanatory. I don't find myself playing this all that much. Later in duels, it's more like first turn thing. I go second, they've got a full field, I just Dark Hole so that they can't do anything against my push. So it's still a good card to have in the deck, just doesn't synergize as well as some other cards. Like maybe Lightning Vortex would be better. Yeah, but just that's in there in place of the Destroy Monsters spell card. Just like whatever you want to use, that's up to you. 3 Gottoms, Emergency Call. Greatest card ever. It's ridiculous. Basically, I don't use it so much on my opponent's turn because they're just going to run over my cards anyway. Usually I'll take the hit or use a Reinforced Truth instead so that they can't get over my Pashuul. But E-Call, basically start your turn. So you Synchro Summon. Just say you've got Boggart and Fulhelm. That's my favorite combo, by the way. So you've got Boggart and Fulhelm, Synchro Summon out Souza, and then activate an E-Call, get back Boggart and Fulhelm, Synchro Summon another Souza. I've actually had it once where I activated 3 E-Calls on one turn and had 3 Souza on the field, which is why I run 3 in the extra deck, because he's a beast. So yeah, E-Call is mandatory. 3. Always 3. Some people play like 1 or 2. I mean, it's an X-Saber deck. Why would you even do that? I don't know. I run 3. 2 Reinforced Truth. Reinforced Truth is really pretty great, actually. You can chain it to your opponent's summons, sets, whatever. So basically, you just set that, wait until your opponent summons or sets, activate it, summon your Pashuul. You don't take any damage that turn. They basically can't attack you. And next turn you can summon something else, Darksoul, Bear, and Synchro on up. So, Reinforced Truth is basically Pashuul. That's the one target in the deck. I've considered adding a 3rd Pashuul or reducing Reinforced Truth to 1, because a lot of times it's irrelevant if I don't have any in my deck. But for now, 2 and 2 I find is working okay. 2 Mirror Force, basically just defense when you don't have a field or something like that. 2 at 1 with the sword. So this is the card that I basically tech in every duel. I think it's really good, especially compared to Sword of Sparkles. Like Sword of Sparkles you activate, yeah, it gains attack. Your opponent knows that it gains attack. This, I mean, you summon Fulhelmknight, and I've been playing against Gladiator Beasts a lot lately, so I'm just going to say Lanista attacks Fulhelmknight. So they're going to expect you to negate that. But instead of negating it, you can activate at 1 with the sword, destroy their monster, and you draw a card. So overall, this is way better than Sword of Sparkles. I love it. It's so fun. Especially when you've got like 2 of these on a Gottoms or something, or even better on a Souza, and then you keep activating his second effect. So it can't be destroyed by traps, plus he's like, I don't know, 4100 attack. kind of crazy. So, yep, Sword of Sparkles rounds off the deck really nicely. So, extra deck, 2 Gottoms. I would run 1, except I find that if I'm running 1, I always want to summon another, so I just put a second one in there, because I always want to. Gottoms is huge, and super easy to summon too. Like, just Faultroll and Fulhelmknight, that's it. Gottoms. 2 Hyunlei. She destroys the back row really nicely, so always run at least 2. My real life deck has 1 because everywhere is out of stock of Hyunlei, and I don't really want to buy packs to try and pull it, so 1 works okay, but I would much rather have 2. 3 Souza, again, huge beater. You can make him immune to traps, or you can get over things that can't be destroyed by battle, like Spirit Reaper, stuff like that, because it's being destroyed by an effect, so he's ridiculously good. Like, I would almost say OP if he wasn't so vulnerable during your opponent's turn. 1 Wayne, he is summonable with the deck, usually like Pashuul and Darksoul. I don't know. He's pretty okay, but usually you'll have very few X-Sabers in your hand, or warrior X-Sabers in your hand, which is even fewer. So that's basically Fulhelmknight and Pashuul. He's got 2100 attack. He's okay. Not great, but he's okay. Stardust, prevent effects, basically. He's got okay attack, but staple. Red Dragon Archfiend. So, after playing this deck quite a lot, I started realizing that it can actually summon Red Nova Dragon in about half the duels, which is really cool because nobody expects you to go into Red Nova Dragon with an X-Saber deck. But I mean, if you summon Red Nova, you've basically won, unless they've got something strange. But yeah, so those 2 are just there for that. Red Dragon Archfiend is also good for destroying, like, if they scapegoat trying to buy themselves a couple turns, Red Dragon Archfiend is good for that too, like on either player's field. So if you've got scapegoats on your field, you've got 4 of them, and Red Dragon Archfiend, and you can't attack, then just during your end phase, you destroy all monsters you control that did not declare an attack this turn. So if you don't attack with your scapegoat tokens, I mean, wonder how hard that would be not to attack with them. Then they're destroyed, which is good, because then you can keep summoning. Pretty specific example, but Red Dragon Archfiend is just a good card. Red Nova, Naturia Landoise. I rarely summon him, but it's okay. Like, if I'm out of Souzas or something, they've all gotten destroyed, I'll go ahead and summon Landoise. I mean, it's pretty good, decent attack, so it's worth having in the deck. I have an Invoker in here just for fun, basically. If you're summoning Invoker, like, you're pretty sure you're gonna win already, so it's I don't know. But the only Fire Fist monster in my deck is Bear, so I didn't see the point. Tiger King is good, actually really good. So, yeah. You basically get, like, when he's destroyed, you get another Tiger King. He's a beater. You can set a Tenki, search out a Boggart, stuff like that. So he's got some really good combo potential. Alright, hope you like it. So, there is my pretty close to done X-Saber profile. I'll probably be doing a few more.